Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you all have joined me tonight for another night of information, revelation, and change. Guys, tonight is going to be another great night, and I am so looking forward to sharing this evening with you. Um, I don't have a guest on tonight, but I do have some things that I would like to share with you. And I hope that what I share will help you in your life, will help you with your day to day, will help you with just being who you are and walking in it and loving it and just loving the fact that you are. Just that simple, the fact that you are. Um, I am having more shows with couples conversations. So if you out there and you are a couple and you would like to be a part of Whole and Beautiful and you would like to come on Whole and Beautiful, just send me an email, wholebeautiful@gmail.com. And I would love to get you on the show. I would love to get that couple on the show. It's couples conversations. It can be a married couple. You could be friends that have been friends for a really long time and you like, hey, we're friends and we want to come on and we just want to share how to do a friendship and how to interact with this friendship that we've had. I have friends that I have, one friend I've been friends with for over 30 years. We've been friends. And I have friends that I met when I was in like fifth grade. And I'm still friends with them today. I still talk to them. I still communicate with them. So if you have a friend and you're like, I want to show people that people still can be friends and you don't have to live in the same like neighborhood or the same area because my friend is nowhere near here. And then I have another friend that's closer, but she does not live here where I'm living. So I just want to show you how we interact with each other as being friends, as being in that married couple. When you saw those last two shows that I did with the married couples, you saw how they interact differently. They're two different couples, but they make it work for them. They do what they need to do for their relationship, for their marriage. And a lot of times we try to pattern ourselves to be something that we're not. And we try to pattern our marriages to be like somebody else's marriage. And we're going to do things like they did it. But you can't do things like they did it. You have to do what is good for you and that person that you are with. So you have to sit down, you have to communicate. You got to communicate with that person, be it a friend or be it, a husband, wife, spouse. You got to talk to them. You have to have the lines of communication open. Because even if I'm your friend and I'm not paying attention to you, then I don't know what you like. I don't know what you dislike. I might keep doing things that you do not appreciate. But because I have not taken the time to pay attention to that, I just keep right on doing it. Why? Because I'm not paying attention and I have not communicated with you. You can be friends with a person who um, you haven't seen in years. I have some people I hadn't talked to like in years. And then if I pick up the phone today and start talking to them, it's like we never stop talking. It's like we've always been around each other because we know each other and we've been a part of each other's lives for so long to the point that these people who we consider to be our friends, they're more so family because they're so connected to us. And thank you, Linda, for joining in. I see that you joined us on tonight. Thank you. That's my sister, guys. And I'm glad that she's here. I see Julie, that you are here. Hey, Julie, how are you doing? I am so glad that you are here on tonight. Thank you for jumping in and chiming in. But yeah, we have to realize just how important. Hey, Josie. Yes, you can be a friend and they not be a friend. That is true. But it's like you have to, that's what I'm trying to say is that you have to have the lines of communication open. If you want a friendship with somebody, you both have to participate. You both have to participate. I have been friends with people who I consider myself a good friend. I check on you. I'm like that loyal friend. That's me. And I'm not like trying to, oh, she trying to toot her horn or beef herself up or whatever. No, I know who I am. And that's what we need to do. We need to know who we are. And I know that I'm a good friend. I try to pay attention to my friends and what's going on in their lives and what they like, what they don't like. I try to communicate with them as much as possible. I send texts out every single day to friends in my phone. I may not get to talk to them all the time, but I will send them a text. And it's a simple thing like, good morning, have a great day. I'll come up with a marvelous Monday, a terrific Tuesday, a wonderful Wednesday, thankful Thursday, and fantabulous Friday, I come up with those things and I just send it out just to say, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm thinking about you. Good morning, good evening, have a good night, different things like that, because that's what that it's in my heart to do it. And just because they don't do it back, a lot of people don't, do that same thing that I do. Because sometimes if I don't text, I don't get a text. If I don't text first, I don't get that text back. But you know what? It's not about that, because I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because I generally, not generally, but I genuinely, let me get my words right. I genuinely care and I want to know how you're doing. I'm not sending you a text just to say, oh, I sent this many people a text today. No, I'm actually sending the text to say, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, y'all, what's going on? Just to speak, just to say hello, just for me to say good morning. I mean, it's the simple things, just to say good morning. You have people who live in the same house together and they don't even say good morning to each other. Really? You can't even say good morning? We want to say good morning. We want to say good evening. We want to say good afternoon. If it's late at night, good night. Talk to you later. But you want to make sure that you're being the best you that you can be, and that you're being the genuine person who you are, and you're not allowing people that are around you to compromise who you are. And a lot of times we compromise in things because we don't know who we are, and you need to realize who you are. Because when you realize who you are, my sending you a text is not going to be based on what you do back to me. My giving you this card, or giving you a gift card, or that hello or call on the phone is not saying, oh, you got to do it back now. Now I done say hello to you, you better say hello back. I send people some text and they never send me anything back. It'd be like months later and they'd be like, hey, Angie. And I was like, hey, because I've been sending you these texts, every single week or every single day for the past like 2-3 months, and I get nothing. And then out of the blue, hey, I remember, I got your text. I got all of them. Thank you. And I'm like, okay. And I go on about my business. But you got to know who you are. And you can't be fake and try to be something that you're not. I can't sit back and say, oh, I don't care. I don't care. Because I do. I do care. So why not be the caring person that I am and go ahead and do what I'm going to do? And if they send it back, fine. If they don't, it's okay. I know you got it. So you know what? I'm going on about my business. Because why? It was in my heart to do it. So then I do it. Because sometimes things are laid on our hearts. And when I say lay on your heart, I mean something that's in your mind, in here, where you feel like, man, I need to contact this person. Oh, I need to talk to that person. Oh, I need to do this kind thing for this person. And sometimes we don't do it. And then later on, we find out that that person was going through a lot, that at the time they had a really hard day, or they had some things that are going on. And sometimes we find out just like days later that that person passes away. And wow, I could have said something. I could have talked to them. I may not have been, the person that could have saved their life, but I could have said, hi, how you doing? Haven't heard from you in a while. And I had that happen like recently. And I sat and I thought about it and I said, wow, I could have spoke. I could have said something. I could have said something to that person, but I didn't. I thought about them and I was like, man, I wonder what they're doing now. I wonder what's going on in their life now. And I even went and looked them up on Facebook and I was like, oh, there they go. I was like, I should send them a friend request or I should send them see if they're on Messenger and shoot them a message. And then I thought about what would I say? I don't know. Maybe I'll do it later. I don't think I'll do it now. And I went on about my business. I went on about my day, went on about my week. And about a week later, I found out that this person passed away. And I was like, wow, I had the opportunity to just say hi, to just say how you doing, to speak to that person. And I chose not to. But simple things like that. Like I said, I may not have been able to be the person to come in and say, you know what, I'm going to stop them from passing away because we all have an appointed time, correct? Yes, we do. But I could have had the opportunity to talk to them. And so often we don't even take the opportunity to talk to others. We don't take the opportunity to share kindness and to share love. We don't take that opportunity. We sit back and we say, you know what? You ain't going to talk to me. I ain't talking to you. You ain't going to do this for me. I ain't going to do it for you. And that should not be named among us at all, especially if we say we love the Lord. Especially if we are professing that we are Christians. Where is Christ in that? That I put you to the side and forget about you and kick you to the curb and think nothing about it? Where is it that I go off on you and cuss you out and do all this stuff to you on purpose? And then I turn around and say, but I love the Lord, though. I love the Lord. And I ain't going to even start with that, y'all. I'm not going there. But I want you to know you got to be who you are. And when you start being who you are and start looking at who you really are, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because all of us got it in us somewhere, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you for Crystal for joining tonight. Welcome, Crystal, everybody, as a part of the whole and beautiful nation. Yes, the nation is growing, guys. We're getting bigger. And yes, Linda, that's right. God is love. He is love. So if we walking around and we got hate towards one another, where's the love that we say that we have in our hearts? Because we say we have it in our hearts. We say that we love him. We say that we adore him. We say that, if it had not been for the Lord, and we love the Lord with all of our heart, how can we say we love him and we haven't even seen him? And then with our brother that is right there, we see him every day and we don't even say that we love them. We can't love them. And hello to Freeport, Bahamas. Thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you for being a part of Whole and Beautiful. The nation's growing, y'all. My whole and beautiful nation. I love y'all. And I thank you all for being here. Hi, Crystal. Again, thank you for joining us. But yes, we got to pay attention to us. We got to see what's going on in our own hearts. We got to live. And I was looking at life today because what made me think about life is here on ALH Broadcasting, they're with the Authors Up show, they have a challenge that's going on with us journaling. You can join in the challenge and start journaling. Send your email to authorsup@gmail.com. Yes. And you can join the challenge. And we are committing to journal. But as I made this commitment that I'm going to journal each day, I started going through all my other journals. I started looking in and I started seeing what I wrote like years ago. And because I have journal after journal after journal, right? So I go and I begin to read what I've written. And what I realized was a common thread in every one of those journals. And I was like, oh, you got to break that. You can't keep doing that. You got to change. I even told one of my sisters, I was like, man, I got to make a change. I got to come up out of this because I have noticed that I do the same thing. But then I noticed too, it's the same time of year. Same. It's almost, if I didn't put the date in there, it would be like it was yesterday. And I said, no, 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 no. That is too long to be walking in the same thing, in the same mindset, in the same way of doing things. Of course, we are who we are, and we are creatures of habit, and we're going to do some things that's just me. Some things are just me. That's just who I am. But I have the ability to be my own opportunity and to start to literally change some things in my life. But it's up to me whether I change it or not. I can't allow what somebody else does to alter who I am. It shouldn't happen. Just because they walk in a room shouldn't change my whole attitude. Just because they hung up on me on the phone shouldn't change my attitude. Just because somebody like cut you off, and see, I'm talking to me too, cut you off in traffic, or people do these crazy things in traffic. I had somebody today who almost literally ran me off the road. I'm on my way to work, and because you want to be in the lane that I was in, and I would have to go into whole detail to explain everything, which I ain't gonna do all that. But you literally I'm about to run off the road because you came up on me because you want to get where I am. I was like, why? We're going in the same direction, and this traffic's backed up on both sides. So why, sir, ma'am, do you want to run me off the road? Like, I don't get it. But we can't allow ourselves to even be altered by that. And when I was in the car and I had got upset and I was like, what are you doing? And then I said, God, please help me. Help my attitude. Let me pray for them. Maybe they're having a bad morning, Maybe things are just not going right for them this morning. Maybe they literally didn't see me. Maybe I was in their blind spot, I had to start praying for myself that I didn't allow that thing to alter my whole day. Because some people, because that thing happened that morning, their whole day is jacked up. Because they thinking about that all day long, and they going off about it all day long into the weekend because they're so upset about it. I don't want that to be me. I've been in situations where I was saying, God, you know what? Yes, Linda, be consistent in your walk. Be consistent. Don't be up here, down here, up here, down here. You way up here, and then you all the way down. It's like, no, you got to be consistent. You got to walk it out in everyday life. You got to walk it out. You have to. Why? You got people watching you that you don't even know is watching you. They pay attention to everything you do, especially when you're saying that you love the Lord and that you serve him. You have people that are watching you and paying attention to everything that you do. Am I saying that you need to be perfect? No, because none of us are. We're going to make mistakes. But the thing about it is, you got to be able to reel yourself in. Self-control. That's part of the fruit of the Spirit. You got to be able to control you. And if you're not able to control you or control this right here in your mouth, your tongue, it can get you in a lot of trouble. It can get you in places that you didn't even ask to be in, that you don't want to be in. But because you couldn't hold your tongue, because you felt like you had to say what you had to say, because you felt like you had to have the attitude, because they had an attitude with me, so I'm going to have an attitude right back at you. Like people tell people, oh, I'm going to meet their energy. I'm going to meet their energy. Why? Why? If you acting like a complete idiot, so to speak, or a complete person who just does not have control over anything, why would I put myself out there to so-called match your energy? I should be matching the energy of Christ if I say he lives in my heart, right? Mm-hmm. We are the only Bible. Yep, we are the only Bible that some people may read. So what are you speaking? What is the book of Crystal saying? What is the book of Linda speaking to us today? What is the book of Angela, chapter 5, verse 6? What is it saying to us today? Because we are the only Bible that some people get to read. And yes, Linda, we need to be mindful. We need to be paying attention, because some people, they're looking at you, and although they don't need to pattern their life after you, they pattern their life after you on their way to getting to know who Christ is. They try to find the person that they think is most serving the Lord and professing Christ. That's the person that they pattern themselves after. Even when you are at home with your children are going to pattern themselves after you. Whether you're doing something right, whether you're doing it wrong, you may tell them the right way, but they're going to do as you do, not so much as you say. They're going to see what you do, and what you do, they will do. Some of them will flip the script and they will do total opposite. Because I've seen people where they didn't have like a favorable environment that they were in, and they decided, they was like, okay, this is the wrong way to do it, so I'm going to do it the right way. So they flipped the script and they did it the right way, because they was like, the one thing you have taught me is not to do it that way, because that way is not going to be like a victorious way to do things. That way is not going to be productive. So they will flip the script and they say, I want to be productive. So they do the total opposite of maybe what their parents did or what that person did that was in their life. But people are watching, and you are leading whether you want to or not. You are a leader in somebody's life, whether you want it or not. I had to realize that even myself, because people pay attention to you and you don't even know they're paying attention. People pattern themselves after you and you don't even know that they're patterning themselves after you. They are watching. And it's not because you in front of people, because when you mention leader, everybody thinks somebody in front, like the CEO of a company, or somebody, the head pastor or whatever, that person that's up in front of everybody leading. No, you leading from right where you are. There's people on your job that watch you. There's people in your family that watch you. There's people on your own household that pay attention to you. There's kids at school that when you go pick up your child, and if you're showing up at the school with your children, they are there, and you got other parents that are paying attention to you. You got other people that are looking up to you, and you want to give the best example possible. You want to be you. You don't want to be fake. You don't want to be phony. You just want to be the best version of you possible. And that's the gift that you give to others, but then that's the gift you give to yourself. When you can be the best version of you possible and love who you are. Live. We want to be able to live every single day. We don't want to go days with, like, you know what? You feel like your life is in chaos. Change it. How can I do that, Angela? How can I do that, Miss Whole and Beautiful? You take the opportunity to change it, because you are your own opportunity. You find out what you need to find out to do for you that's going to help you change to where you want to be. You make the opportunity for yourself. It's certain things you may want to do in life, and you need to sit down and say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. This is what it takes to get there. So this is what I need to do. And I map it out. I make a plan, and I'm consistent with my plan. You can look throughout the Bible. You can look throughout history. You can look throughout your own family sometimes. People who started with what seemed like not enough and made it into more than enough, because they kept pushing and they kept doing what they needed to do. And yes, Josie, kids pay attention to everything. You may not think that they're paying attention to you. Hi, Trisha. I'm glad that you're here tonight. Thank you for joining. But you may not think that kids are paying attention to you. but they pay attention to every single thing that you do, everything that you say, how you carry yourself. And we may be onto them and saying, you need to do this and you need to do that. And you need to think highly of yourself because you're beautiful. You're awesome. We telling the little girls that, and we telling our sons, the young men, we're telling them, oh, you're so handsome. You're an awesome man of God. You're an awesome man, and we're telling them these things, but then they're seeing something different. They're seeing you put yourself down. They're seeing you sit in depression. They're seeing you sit there and not even go out and sit in the house in a dark room. Crystal says, amen, we must believe that we have the power to change. Yes, it won't happen overnight, but little by little. Yeah, you can change if you want to. And when I was back in elementary school, which was a long time ago, but they had a song that said, little by little by little by little by lot. It said, little by little by little by little by, big things get done. So it's like just the little things. Start here, start building, start doing what you need to do, and you will become who you really want to be. That vision that you have in you, where you see yourself put together, where you see yourself walking with such confidence and walking into places where you want to walk into and doing the things that you want to do. God then put that vision in you for you to sit there and say, well, it ain't gonna happen. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. It will happen, but you got to make an effort to walk towards it. It's not like God is not a genie. He's not a genie in a little lamp where you rub the lamp and he come out and grant you these 3 wishes. No, you got to put some effort in it. Faith without works is dead. You got to work it. God gave you abilities. He gave you the gifts on the inside of you. And you got to stir up them gifts. What it means, stir it up? I mean, I need to bring this gift up and start walking in it. It's in me. So you know what? I need to do something with it. I need to do something with this gift. I don't need to let it sit here, because if he gave the gift is sitting there, it's all wrapped in nice, pretty paper, and it's all cute, and we're looking at it, and we're like, oh, look at that gift God gave me. Oh, that is so nice. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I love it. And you never open it. What good is it to you if you're not going to open it up and utilize it and walk in it and love it and be like, hey, and sometimes we look at it and be like, oh, God didn't bless me with that. No, it's okay to say, yep, he sure did. This is a gift that he gave me. I'm not going to be arrogant about it, but I know this is a gift that he put in me, and I'm going to utilize my gift, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm not going to draw back to make you shine. I'm going to shine too. I'm going to be who I was called to be. We both can shine. We both can be bright. Light doesn't have to compete against light. It doesn't. I have told you all many times on this show that I never compete against any other person. The only competition is with me. Am I where he wants me to be? He being the Lord. He being God. Am I in the place where he wants me to be? Am I doing what he wants me to do? That's where I measure myself. I don't measure myself against another person, because I don't know your walk. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what he's working in you, working out of you, what he's doing in you. But I know what he's doing with me. I know what the goals are for me. I know the visions that he's given for me. So am I measuring up to that vision? Am I going in the direction that I know he wants me to go? And it's not spooky, guys. It's not, no. You have gifts on the inside of you. It's time to walk in it. Stop trying to wait for somebody else to motivate you. Stop trying to wait for somebody else to come and speak into your life and tell you how great and wonderful you are. Ooh, I got a word for you, girl. Let me tell you this. Or, man, let me tell you this. Already have the word in your heart. Already walking in it. Majority of the time when somebody comes and they speaks to me and they tell me, oh, well, the Lord said this or the Lord said that, and they're speaking this word. And I was like, okay. Why? Because I've already gotten it. And it's not to be arrogant. It's just that It's in here. And when they speak it, it connects. Why? Because God already spoke it to me. Now he's allowing you to see it, so it connects with me. And all it does is ignite me and push me forward. It ignites me and pushes me forward. You're not coming to me telling me something that I don't even know. I know this stuff. I know I should be a witness of the word that you're giving. I should be a witness of it, right? Yeah. So when you speak it, I already know. Why? Because I spent time in the presence of God and he already spoke it to me. So it's not that I'm unaware. Sometimes I'm like, "Whoo, God, that happened quicker than what I thought it was going to happen." Whoo, and the reality of it may hit me, but I already knew it because he already spoke it to me. And we have to realize, hey, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Our lives are just great and wonderful. Why? Because he created us and we're living during this time. And the things that are going on in our lives, God got a plan for it. Have you asked him for the plan? Have you asked him to show you what you need to do? And some people say, well, I asked and I ain't heard nothing. Well, just continue to do what you're doing. Continue to move in the direction of his word. Get to know his word. You'll get to know his plan. Because when you know the word, you know his plan. Okay, this is outside of the word, so that's not part of the plan. So I need to stay within the plan. So I'm gonna keep on in the plan. It's like my grandmama used to tell me. She would ask me to read the Bible to her when her eyes were getting bad and she couldn't read it like she used to. She was like, Andrew, get that Bible, read the Bible to me. And I would be like, Grandma, where you want me to start? Where you want me to read at? She said, baby, just read wherever you're gonna read. The whole Bible good. And it is. It is. And there is a plan specifically just for you. When you were designed as a unique being. And there is a plan specifically just for you. You just got to walk in it. You just got to live. I want y'all to live. I want you to live out loud. Stop hiding your life and trying to live back in a dark corner somewhere where there ain't nobody seeing you. No, live out loud on purpose. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a loud person. You could be a soft-spoken person. But because of the way you live, it's just loud. It's just loud. And it's making a difference. You make the difference that you want to see. You make the impact that you want to see. We all the time sitting around talking about, this could change. People need to change this. They need to change that. Why don't you change it? Why don't you be the change? Why don't you be the impact? Why don't you make the difference? Be the one that make the difference. Be the one that make the change. And you may not have a platform that you're saying that you're speaking from, but you know what? Everybody has some kind of platform. Whether it's, like I said, whether it's at your house, whether it's with your coworkers, whether it's at the school. And you may be like, well, I ain't in a workplace. I'm at home. You are making an impact on that child in the house with you, on those children that's in the house with you. You make an impact when you go out to the grocery store. You make an impact if you're just picking up your groceries from the grocery store. Somebody's watching. Somebody's paying attention. So what kind of impact are you making? What kind of difference are you making? Not only in somebody else's life, but what about your own? Have you made an impact in your own life that just overflows into somebody else's? Have you made a difference so much so in you that it's making a difference in somebody else's life? It should, because that's part of living, guys. When you are able to reproduce after your own kind. And that's just not talking about physically having a child. It's talking about being able to impart into somebody else, to pour into somebody else, to help them become better too. When you get better, why not help somebody else get better? When you're strengthened, why don't you go strengthen your brother? When you're encouraged, Why not go encourage somebody else? I tell my kids, I've been telling my kids for a long time, love you, love somebody else. Be kind to you, be kind to somebody else. Those things. Love, love you. Because you're not going to be able to love somebody else if you can't love yourself. So you got to love you first and then go love somebody else. You got to be kind to you first, then go be kind to somebody else. Show yourself a little bit of kindness. Because sometimes we're hard on ourselves. Sometimes we're more hard on ourselves than we need to be. You need to be kind to you and then go be kind to somebody else. Because you can't be kind to somebody else and you're not being kind to you. If you do, then you're faking it. You're getting resentful. You're getting angry. Why? Because I'm doing this for them and nobody don't do that for me. Do it for yourself. God loves you, so why you don't love you? He loves you. So why are you hating on you? Why are you so disliking yourself? Some of us need to just repent for hating our own self and not liking ourselves. Because God didn't make foolishness. He made you the way you are. Your skin tone, your hair. I mean, he knows the very hairs on our hair are numbered, people. Numbered. He didn't just count them, he numbered them. And I love it because it's like if that hair like fall out, that was like hair number 1967248. He numbered them. Okay, so we need to realize just how important we are. You are not alone. You are important to this world. You are important to your family. You are important and should be important to yourself. You should be important to you. When you walk in a room, make a difference, make an interest. And you don't have to come in there loud to make an interest. You come in there in the confidence of God, the confidence that he put in you. And it will shift the atmosphere. Why? Because my confidence is in him. I live, I move, I have my being in him. And if I stay in him, there's no way I can walk into a workplace, walk into a school, walk in my neighborhood, or go anywhere else in a grocery store or wherever. Wherever I go, change has to come. Why? Because he lives on the inside of me. So I want him to live. I want him to live. I don't want to put him in here and put limitations and say, oh, we can't do this here and oh, we can't do. No, allow God to live big in you. Allow the Holy Spirit to live big in you. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Our kids are facing my grandkids. I'm like, wow, these kids are facing things that I never thought that they would ever have to face. And they're having to face it at young ages. You got this just today. They were on the news talking about a kindergartner who brought a 12-inch knife to school, said he was going to stab another student because they were bothering him and because they were picking on him. And now they want to investigate the parents, like, where did he get this 12-inch knife? He got it out the kitchen. I'm looking at the knife on TV. He got it out the kitchen. But it's like they're having to face so much and they're being exposed to so much. We need to be able to embrace them. We need to be able to pour into them. We can't let TV and all these electronics and all this other stuff to allow that stuff into your child and you not speaking into that child. You got to speak into that child. You got to speak into those people that are close to you. You got to speak life into them. You got to be able to pay attention to your surroundings and what's going on so that you're able to pour into them what's needed. That child may not need you arguing or fussing about them. They may need you to hug them and just hold them and just sit there with them. Not saying a word, but they may just need you reading a story to them at night. They may just need their mom, their dad, just to spend some time with them. Not anything big, just a sandwich and a bag of chips and some conversation, you know? So this weekend, and I tell y'all this a lot, this weekend, spend some time with some family, spend some time with somebody, pour into somebody else. Get your cup to overflowing to where you're just pouring all the time into somebody else, but you don't allow yourself to get empty. You just keep receiving and keep receiving what God has for you and let it just keep overflowing and overflowing to other people. It's time to overflow into other people's lives. It's time to overflow into other people's lives. Yes, your presence is more important than anything. Thank you, Miss A. And that's where we're going to end right there. Your presence is more important than anything. You make a difference when you show up. Everything changes because you're here. So in your presence is more important to your kids than anything. And I don't care if your kid is 2 or 52. If you still got your mama, your daddy, and you still got people there, you need to be able to pour into them. And your friends, you need to be able to pour into them. They may not need you to lecture them. They may need you to sit and listen. They may need you to hold them a little while longer than normal. Don't give up. Don't give up that opportunity to hold somebody just a little bit longer. Just to sit with them 2 minutes more, it will make a difference. So do that this weekend. Spend some time with somebody, talk to them, allow them to share their heart with you. If you need to share your heart, find that person that you can say, I can share my heart with you, and have that connection, that little bit of time. Like Miss A said, your presence in that situation, your presence in that person's life can literally change their lives forever. So don't forget that your presence is more important than anything. Be present in your own life this weekend, but be present with somebody else. I am Angela D. Oliphant, allowing you to see, hear, and to know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination, guys. It is most definitely your journey. To my whole and beautiful nation tonight, y'all, go out, spend some time with somebody else, knowing that you matter, your presence matters, and make a difference this weekend. I love you guys. Until I see you again next week at 7 p.m. If you missed anything from this show, meet me back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. and you can see it all again. Y'all have a great weekend. Love you much, my whole and beautiful nation. Good night.